Hi everyone, this is part 4, and here I give my opinion about the different materials that I just showed you. So starting with visitations, the pro is you can really talk into people's life exactly where they at, and you're very flexible. You can meet people when they have the time, because some people, they work long shifts, and I meet with one guy over lunch, or maybe you meet with a young mother in the morning. You can do that anytime, and you don't need a big infrastructure. You can meet people at their home, even at their workplace. What is the backside? You might stay on the surface and just talk about personal life and not really get deep into something. With some people, it's hard to connect what they tell you with, like, speak into their lives. What is God's plan for you? That might be a downside. So then we have the method I told you about, what I do on a Tuesday evening, where we use always the same questions and just go through the Bible. So the upside is it's easy to handle. You can pass it on easy to someone. What's the downside? Almost no downside, except you might not cover everything. There might be a topic that you might not cover, that you will cover with a thematical book. So what is salvation? What does baptism mean? And these things. I think you also cover them, but not as specifically as you do it when you come from the topic. Then the Kenny method, that was the way Joelle is doing. So she's preparing questions for the Bible text. So a big advantage is you don't need any other aid, nothing. So people get very independent and they think by themselves. So, but what is the downside? You really have to teach people how to ask the good questions and not make it in a school setting, so that the questions sound like in school, and other ones they're more like afraid. They might say something wrong. That's not what we want. We want an encouraging atmosphere. But it can be very encouraging. And then we had, what was the other one? Oh, this one. A good one is you get an overview about the whole Bible. It's not too long. It's 25 evenings, 25 lessons, and it's not too much to read. Downside, sometimes it's almost too easy. Everything is said, and there's not so much to discuss about. That's a little bit how it was sometimes with us. Then I don't know much about Stöckli-Eidenbenz. I never used Stöckli-Eidenbenz, and one reason is because it's a lot to read, and depending with who you work with, for example, urban poor, who sometimes are not so highly educated, this is hard. It might be hard to read this much and to grasp it. Same is true for something like this. It would be perfect for people who really want to dig deeper, but not for first believers, not for people who are not so well educated. And with urban poor, you might have even illiterate people. So for them, method with just summarizing the Bible, recounting, retelling the Bible, simply the story, that's almost perfect. They just sit there and listen, and you will be surprised what they can remember just by listening, because that's what they do their whole life through. Then we have the practical thing, like that. Doing this for money management, it has a great impact on people. It can change lives. And another upside is you could do it with people who are not really believers, because it's something that everyone is interested in, how to manage your money. Downside can be that there's not enough connection with biblical content. Well, there are Bible verses, but people could just steer around it. Similar with marriage counseling. And last but not least, whoa, where's that big baby here? So the great advantage, this is really thorough knowledge of the Bible. And there comes the trap that people could fall in, just learning theory, and they think they're just learning theory that doesn't really affect their lives. So here the challenge is to always, in discussion, connect it with your personal life. And that people don't, they might even get proud, like, I know so much, I had done this training, and the other ones of the church, they haven't. That can happen. So your challenge is to prevent that and just say, well, let's just thank God that you know more than before and can use that to become more like Jesus. Upside downside, you need infrastructure, you need a place. Everything that is in a group, you need a place, you need a time that works for everyone. What I haven't talked about before is, what about prayer groups, when people just gather to pray? So that's a great thing as well. People come together, they don't necessarily read the Bible, read the content or something, or a book together, but to pray. Again, sometimes difficult that they find the time or a place, but you can still do it online. We've done that before. Sometimes the downside is people feel like we're not going anywhere. We're just doing the same thing all the time. So the challenge is to tell people, or to show them, look, this is what we prayed. Remember 2 days ago, and not 2 days, 2 weeks ago, we prayed about this, and you know what happened? So that they actually start to enjoy praying for people, not just praying for themselves. That's also the downside of the visitations, that people still just circle around themselves, and the prayer group could just circle around themselves. That's just almost same like visitations, just in a group. So your challenge is, your task is to bring that to change perspective to other people. So that's that for prayer groups that I just forgot before. Prayer group is also a way of discipling people. And in our church, some people, they are they are in a little ladies' Bible study who meet online, but they also meet one-to-one on another day with someone else and do a Bible study in a different way. That's all fine. And visitations, there's still room for that. It's all fine. I would say the more variety you have, the better, because we want to become like Jesus, and it's an ongoing process. Thanks.